Some people don't really understand about autism, but if you make it so they do understand, they can have a bit of a better understanding, even if it's not perfect.
It's basically a bit harder to understand other things, like other people, and for other people to understand what we do. I'm quite sensitive to noise, to people, like my feelings are quite sensitive, and I don't know, sometimes it's just kind of hard to control your feelings when you're autistic.
Loads of people have autism and you know that you're not the only one, and also when people know you have a struggle they can help.
We've been running the Autism project to make sure that we're building a better community of understanding what autism is for the children, for the parents and for the staff. It's about creating a better community and understanding that autism is part of our community.
When we began the sessions with the initial group, small group of boys, they needed to get to know one another, they needed to form a relationship, and so the first few weeks were all about that really, and establishing ourselves as a group and a very supportive group. We worked towards producing a PowerPoint presentation that kind of brought together everything that they had learned about one another and themselves as individuals, what it means to be autistic, and the presentation was then given to a number of classes within school. The boys were completely thrilled with themselves and what they managed to achieve.
So the purpose of the Pupil programme that the group took part in is to support autistic children and young people, or those on the diagnostic pathway, to start their journey of exploring their identity and to have a voice around that, so to develop their self-advocacy skills. Class developed the programme, they wrote the programme to make sure that there was a really strong ethos of what should lie behind it, with the East Sussex Parent Carer Forum, who co-deliver the Autism in School project across East Sussex.
My name is Evan. My favourite subject is actually maths. I'm really fond of music and I really love playing guitar, drums, piano. I just love the whole lot. The project has been a really good learning experience. I learned about autism, I learned about how to make friends, I learned about my new friends, and I learned how to make a slideshow.
For Evan, fitting in has been a bit of a difficult one. Sometimes he's a very sociable child, but not always understood. And in doing the autism group, he's felt that safe space to be who he is, to be different, to be proud to be different, to shout from the rooftops. You just kind of see their shoulders drop a bit when they're here, and it just feels like a really safe space. And at the end of each session we ask them what they've enjoyed, what they've learnt about themselves, what they've learnt about each other. We're continuing to hone how we deliver each session. For example, if the children want to go and do the activity outside, or they don't want to sit at a table, that's okay. If they don't want to do sort of fiddly cutting and sticking, we can completely rethink how we do that session.
I like the group because you get to take a break from all the other people and you don't have to do all the lessons, which can sometimes be stressful. The reason why everyone likes to be in the group is because they want like an activity to just focus with, to get their brain off schoolwork, everything. I kind of like sitting in weird positions, and sometimes my brain goes a bit funny and it just feels good to sort of sit in a corner. And at the group I feel a bit more free to do so.
I like how we get to play with like stress toys and fidget toys.
I like that we get to actually think about ourselves a bit more. Like we get to know ourselves a bit more.
I guess you just get to have kind of like a break from learning. More free, I guess.
School has always been hard for her, but actually I have had more conversations about how she is feeling and what's limiting her than we've ever had before. So she is being able to process some of those emotions and put it into words, which has been so helpful. So we've been able to make those adjustments to make each day easier.
After the first programme had run, the first children had kind of worked through the 5 weeks, of the programme. The pupils fed back as well as the staff, so that the programme that is now being delivered in schools has been co-produced with the staff, the pupils, their parents as well, and the East Sussex Parent Care Forum have had a look at that too.
So the initial project started with just those 6 sessions that class put together, but what we learned quite quickly from that was that we could add and make it work within our school environment by creating other things. So for example, we have our badge that the boys designed, our head teacher has one of these, all the children that are involved in the project have these. When a child gets a diagnosis, we want to make sure that the children and families feel a bit more supported. So we ran a project in the school where a competition where any child could create a character. We're putting together comics from the images that the children have created, so that once a child gets a diagnosis, then actually there's some kind of literature there that the child could actually relate to. We are hopefully developing and embedding a culture here that autism is just part of us, just like the colour of someone's hair or the way someone looks, and actually we're celebrating differences, but we have more of a focus on how to do that now.
I came up with the idea that instead of autism spectrum disorder, which is how many people refer to it, I much prefer autism spectrum difference, because it is just truly a difference and we're all different.
It's been really important for him to understand that this isn't a journey that you're doing on your own. There's lots of other children out there who have their challenges and their difficulties.
They've got bodies throughout the school now. You've got a year 3 taken to a year 6, and it's beautiful for them to be part of that community and look out for one another and stick together a little bit when they need it or when they're having a wobble.
It's wonderful. Love it.
I didn't used to like Thursdays until 2 weeks ago when I started this group. So exciting, I don't know what to say, but it was awesome.